Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome back to JoyClicks. My name is Christian, and today I want to talk to you about a brand new game on the Nintendo Switch. It's not a brand new game overall. It was released last year on PC, but it's making its console debut on the Nintendo Switch, and that is Team Cherry's Hollow Knight. Now, Hollow Knight, like I said, it was a game that came out last year, and I learned about it last year, but ever since I was just enthralled with everything this game had to offer, its visual style, its world, the type of exploration they were promising. It was all coming at me in waves of, wow, I really want to play this game. So this entire year, since January 1st, I was waiting for Hollow Knight to come out on the Nintendo Switch. I got a Switch last October. Nintendo and Team Cherry gave me a wonderful surprise and decided to shadow drop the entire game plus the DLC for $15 on the Nintendo Switch during Nintendo's E3 showcase this year. So basically what I want to show off in this video is some exploration of the underground in Hollow Knight. We're gonna be coming across a new ability. My initial thoughts on the game, I've only put about like 3 hours, 45 minutes. By the end of this video of recording, I put about 4 hours into Hollow Knight so far. So if you're concerned about environmental spoilers, yes, there are environments that are not the beginning environments in this game. I'm going to be showing off the second big change of an environment that you get to, and we're going to tease a third environment that I have yet to explore in the game at the conclusion of this video. But what I really want to focus on first is the way Hollow Knight presents its world. Visually, I think this game is beautiful. It looks hand-drawn, everything is so intricate. The designs and characters and atmosphere just screams the charm and unsettling nature of a Tim Burton film, which I've always had a fondness for that type of visual flair. You get this sense of dread from everything, but there's such a charm to the world. It's just oozing with history and lore and things for you to dive into. So Hollow Knight is a wanderer. At the beginning of the game, we get an intro cinematic setting up some rumblings of a power in this world. We introduce Dirtmouth. So Dirtmouth is basically the hub of the game. It is quote-unquote above ground because everything in Hollow Knight is essentially bugs underground, very earthy, lots of different caverns. So Dirtmouth is your, for all intents and purposes, your surface level. When you first approach Dirtmouth, you are greeted by the Elder, who says that pretty much the town is abandoned. It was once a bustling kingdom, and there was a treasure, something that drove everybody crazy to go underground and look for it, and that essentially wiped out everybody. You go underground and you start to explore what Hollow Knight has to offer. The beginning areas are pretty basic. There are certain NPCs you'll come across, which I really love the way they handle those. They each have their own unique characters. One of my favorites so far is when you come across early in your exploration underground, and that is Cornifer the Cartographer. You meet him, you can give him some geo, and he gives you a map. The map is the saving grace of exploration in this game, as it is with any Metroidvania. I should put it out there, I'm not well versed in Metroidvanias. I've dabbled here and there. I've played some Castlevanias, I played a Metroid game, I think it was Fusion, but that's besides the point because Hollow Knight presents the ideas of a Metroidvania in a very accessible way while still offering a challenge and options for how you want to present the world to yourself. And what I mean by that is the way you meet the wife of Cornifer, who runs a shop. She really seems to not enjoy her life or her husband's escapades. You go to her with your geo, which is the currency you earn in this game, which I will also talk about pretty soon because I really like the way that is handled as well. You have the chance to purchase different pieces of gear that will help you chart out your areas. You get a quill that you can use to add onto your map. So if you explore a new area and go to a bench to rest, it'll update your map. You can buy pins, so you can use those to mark certain things in your map, like benches. You're gonna see me pull up a bench marker that I purchased earlier in the game later in this video, and that is a toggle. Even after you own the map pins, you can toggle them on and off. There's just a lot of choice in the way you want to explore the world, which I really appreciate. But going back to what I said about the economy in this game, It's very Souls-like, and I really love the way they handle it. In Hollow Knight, killing enemies will give you Geo, your currency in the world. Your currency is tied to your life. So the first thing you see me do in this video is go after my shadow, which is an imprint left on the world that contains all of your Geo. Just like in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, where you leave a stain on the world where you died and you can go there to reclaim your souls, it's only there as long as you can make it back without dying again. This is great because it adds stakes to the world in a way that isn't very hostile, and it pretty much puts all the blame on you if you fail, because nothing feels cheap in Hollow Knight. There are a few issues with platforming where I've slipped, but I don't know if that's a me thing, but that's besides the point because there is so much good in this game that I can easily forgive some errors in my controls, even I'm pretty sure it's just me. So there is a challenge to the game. I spent probably 45 minutes on one boss the other night just trying to redo it, get my timing right. So there is a level of skill required that you have to learn and pretty much learn to adapt on certain enemies and the way the world attacks you. Like I said, I'm a few hours into Hollow Knight already, so there are some abilities that I've gained. You've seen me a few times in the video charge up to reclaim health points. That is your energy pool that you gain from killing and beating enemies. There are certain ruins in the world, you can drain power from them if you want to get a big boost. But basically, it's all tied to the A button. So the A button, if you hold it down, it lets you spend your energy to charge up and reclaim life, which is very helpful, especially in bosses. You can get a lot of damage in on them and reclaim your health, or use a big energy blast, which does a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Again, very helpful for bosses, it's just a way of how you want to manage it. So far, I have beaten 2 of the bosses in Hollow Knight. The first one did not give me anything. The second, however, I learned a new move, which is the dash. You can see me using the dash a ton in this video. The dash really helps a lot with mobility. It makes everything much faster, especially for when you have to backtrack. So that's super great because the game is starting to open up more, and allowing me to be able to dash is a welcome addition to it. It also gives me new paths, new places I can explore, and chances to evade death. The charm of Hollow Knight's world is really oozing out of every single design, from backgrounds to foregrounds to characters and enemies, and I really love it because everything feels natural. Different environments are woven together very well. For example, you have areas where there's going to be lots of thorns, and all of the thorns that are about to show up in the next tunnel you go through start creeping out of the tunnel that leads to that new environment. So here in this thorn-infested tunnel is a new ability hiding at the end. There's a little bit of maneuverability you gotta do through here to be rewarded with a brand new piece of the puzzle for exploration in Hollow Knight, and at the end, once we reclaim this, I'm gonna do a little bit of a cut to the upgrade screen just for the sake of time. So here we have the new ability screen. So you have the chance to equip as many abilities as the game lets you at a time. Each one has their own cost. You have up to 3, at least at the beginning, notches that you can use to fill for your abilities. Now, the 2 that I have equipped right now, they have their own benefits, but the one I just earned was a Thorn ability. So what it does, you can see here, it's hard to show right now, you're going to see it again in a second, but if an enemy attacks me, my body morphs into a bunch of thorns and gets an attack in on the enemy. It's a very wide-ranging attack and is very helpful. So if you're like me and haven't played a ton of Metroidvanias, this is pretty much what I would expect out of any Metroidvania. But the reason I love Hollow Knight so much so far is just the way they present the world, like I said. Calming but disturbing presence throughout the entire world, which is just oddly cozy and comfortable. Someone told me that Hollow Knight is a 40-hour game for them at least. It took them 40 hours to complete the story of the main game. There are 3 additional DLCs that are completely free from Team Cherry that add on to Hollow Knight to expand the world, expand the areas, and expand the lore. All 3 of those are included in the Nintendo Switch edition, which is currently $15 on the eShop, and the Steam version, I believe right now, is $10. But overall, as someone who enjoys Bloodborne, as someone who enjoys the aesthetic and vibes of Tim Burton films, of really creepy storybook characters and a deep, rich history, that there is so many undertones and so many things that could possibly be explored in this world. Like I said, I'm very early in. There's so much more for me to do in this game. If you have never checked out a Metroidvania or something in that genre, I definitely think it would be worth checking out Hollow Knight because, like I said, it's so charming, it's so unique, and just the joy of exploration is unmatched by any other game I've played this year. I don't like using other games to compare and explain how games work, but there is some similarities through other games, through other titles and genres that are combined in Hollow Knight and presented in a new and unique way, and I really think there's something special there. So if you do own a Nintendo Switch or a capable PC, again, this is probably not gonna be that taxing on any PC. I can probably play this on my Mac if I wanted to. I just wanted to play it on my Switch because it feels so good. But that's all I really have to say on Hollow Knight right now. I really love this game so far, and I just can't wait to spend so many more hours exploring and learning everything I can about this kingdom. Hollow Knight is definitely something that you should check out if you have the slightest of interest, or even if you're just looking for something cheap to play and test it out and see if you like it on your Switch or on your PC. From what I'm aware, Team Cherry does want to bring this to other platforms in the future, so you can probably keep that tracked from their Twitter account. I follow them. They tweet somewhat regularly, lots of community interaction, and they seem like a very capable studio with lots to offer, and I can't wait to see what else they do. But I will not be putting down Hollow Knight anytime soon. So, with that being said, I want to talk to you guys now. Have you checked out Hollow Knight? Do you have any interest to check out Hollow Knight? Like I said, Hollow Knight is really big on the way they present their lore. You can find lots of ruins. So if you want to see more Hollow Knight coverage on JoyClicks, be sure to let me know. If you're new to JoyClicks, be sure to subscribe so you never miss any of the content I do moving forward. I definitely want to talk more Hollow Knight. The summer is going to be pretty sweet for catching up on games. So here, I'm going to do one more cut to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of an area that you'll get to explore in Hollow Knight if you pick it up, that I'm about to dive into the next time I play the game. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching, good vibes and good game.